Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is the include code. This one's not going to seem as useful as you might think, but I think as time goes on, you'll find that it's quite helpful. All right, so what is includes.php? Well, it's actually a file, or using this phrase include is a way that you can bring PHP pages into your current pages. So for example, I could have a function called hello that just echoes hello. We've used this example before, right? I could have a function called can drive, take the user age, if user age is greater than or equal to 16, return true, else return false. Great. Okay. So there's my code. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another file just so you can see. I'm going to call it example call.php. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to go to make my code. And I'm going to say include what file. In this case, it's includes.php, and really it should be like that. And then I can just call one of the functions. And in fact, because I did an include, I don't know if you saw, it actually is filling this in for me already because I called it. So I'm going to, oh, that's not what I need. I need to end PHP tag. Okay, save that. Now, if I call it includes, nothing's going to happen. What I am going to do, though, is go up here and go to example call.php, and it says hello, because it pulled in that function from the other page. The other thing that's really cool about these includes is let's do a new file and just call it header.php. And my header for PHP can be HTML. Don't do an end tag on it for this example. Header HTML. Body. I'm not gonna have an end body tag either. We're doing very poor HTML programming, but this will have H1. Welcome. Okay, and we'll save that, and I might have more like head title. I'm going to do for head and title / title, right? Yep. And here I can put which won't make sense now, but it will in a second. Okay. And we save it. And then we go to example call. And so what I can do is I can say title equals my page. Then I can do an include header.php, save it, it says welcome hello, and of course in the actual, first of all it says my page right there because that's what I set as the value, and if I view the page source it just looks like a regular page, like you don't know about the extra code that it brought in, and the spaces are there and everything. So that's kind of neat, right? Like, I mean, you can make menu bars, you can make footers that say like copyright, all that kind of stuff. Like, and you can include a footer at the end of a page. Like, it's really powerful for how you can sort of reuse some of this stuff. I also mentioned something called require. Require is different in that if require is different, it works exactly the same as include. The difference is that if the file isn't there, like for example on example call, right, I bring in includes. Let's get rid of, let's call it header 2, right, save that and run it because there's no header 2 and hit refresh, it still runs. There's a warning somewhere being generated, but it's not gonna die. If I were to do require, which is the exact same thing, except that if I were to run the program then, I get an error. So require is not as forgiving as include. Same thing, but not as forgiving.